Thank you, Pastor Samuel, and I would like to greet you all. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming this Google Meet. Okay, I'm going to present. Okay, can you see? Alright. Okay, my sermon today it is about not just any location or a random decisions. Okay, so based on this title, we can spread the good words to anyone in any place because that is that the decisions that we make, because God had called us to the place to spread the good news to everyone, so that everyone will know the good news. Okay, so here I would like you to recall back things that was written in the scripture. Okay, we all know that Jesus began his ministry. Okay, a place not in his hometown, but it is in other places. Okay, and it is very familiar with spiritual territories. Okay, and then yet our heart will feel so happy when we heard the message that is come. Hello? Alright. Okay, wait. I will try. Okay. Wait. I will zoom it first. How to zoom this? Okay, where is it? Okay, can you hear? Can you see? Okay, a bit bigger. Okay, wait, the first one. Yes, the places that Jesus began his ministry. So when we heard the news, okay, and then we feel so happy that make our life change. Okay, because the message today called us to ventures far beyond and into realms that are less comfortable. Okay, we can spread the good news, and then it is the potentials for harvest. Okay, and then in the gospel according to Mark 4 verse 35. Okay, let's see in the Bible here what we can find in this Mark verse 35. Okay, I will read the verse, the word. So here it says, and the same day when the even was came, he said unto them, let us pass over into the other side. Okay, so the whole story it is about when Jesus give the ministry, and then a lot of people, multitudes of them listens to Jesus. They will go everywhere that Jesus go. Okay, even going to the other side. And then here many things that he teaches them. First, he teach about the parables of the kingdom. Then remember, like hearken, behold, that went out of sower to sow, and it came to pass, and he saw some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. Okay, that is the examples of the parables that he shared to the people. And then secondly, he also shared the kingdoms of God. Okay, shares about in a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on a candlesticks. Example of the parables that he shared. Okay, and then the kingdom of God, as if a man should cast seed into the ground and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring and grow up, he knew not how. Okay, for the earth bring fruit of herself, first the blade and the ear, after that the full corn in the ear. For those who listening to the message of Jesus, so they will react. How do they react to the message? Are they going to keep by themselves, or are they just here but not acting anything? Okay, that is what he shares to the multitudes of people. Okay, here we find a steering directive from Christ. He said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Okay, that is the other side of the lake. Now, Jesus is making very bold move to take his disciple across the Sea of Galilee. Why? Because the other side of the lake, it is a pagan territory. Pagan territory, they haven't received the good news of Jesus yet. Okay, so here when we go to different places that only stick for the traditionals, perspective, traditionals, cultures, okay, sometimes they will not listening to the message that we are going to deliver it to them. Okay, this what happened into the area where they indulged in and participated into all kinds of sins. Okay, and then Jesus knew that exactly where he was going. This was not just a random decision. Yes, Jesus know that this type of people, they need to waken up. Okay, waken up, and they need to receive this message, whether they accept it or not. Okay, but it is important that they must know what happened. This isn't merely a physical crossing from Galilee to Decapolis. Across the Sea of Galilee is a spiritual summons to cross over into area of life and spirit that are uncharted by us. Okay, so here in the Decapolis, a network of 10 cities was notorious not only for its allegiance to Rome, but for its deep-seated pagan practice. Yes, pagan practice. Okay, so they might be worship the idols. Okay, worships a lot of gods during that time, and then during that time Rome's rules that place. Okay, here Jesus is Jewish. Okay, so here they will thinking that the message, okay, brings good to them. Here on the other side, temples stood that celebrated wealth, violence, and hedonic deeds, presenting a profound challenge to the message of humility, peace, and self-control preached by Jesus. Okay, a lot of violence in that place, a lot of arrogant people, okay, because they think that they are rich, they are wealthy, so they forget that God have blessing them. Okay, rabbinic traditions in Jesus' day said that Decapolis is where the 7 nations of Canaan settled down. They features cults that promoted sexuality, violence, and wealth. It was everything that Israel was not. Okay, this is the place. A lot of sinners. Okay, and they need to their soul need to be saved. Okay, so here Decapolis was also center of Roman. 6,000 soldiers were stationed at the other side. Okay, the symbol of the legions was pig's head. Okay, this is quite horrible because the legion is the pig's head. Okay, Decapolis was a place where pigs were worshipped. Imagine that pigs and animals, they worship this kind of animals. Okay, and then it is the satanic influence them, live in them. Okay, and then they believe that it is the evil, demonic. Okay, and it is not good to worship the animals because animals is not God. Okay, and then there's no God inside them. So here over the other side, especially not a rabbi, going to the other side was way out of their comfort zone, but they agreed to go. Okay, even though that Jesus know this kind of people that are very sinners. Okay, and then they do a lot of bad things, but Jesus willing to go to that place. Okay, so Jesus know what he is going to do with this kind of people. Venturing into the unknown place. Okay, as they set sail, the disciples were not just navigating the waters. They were crossing the turbulent seas of their deepest fear and prejudice. Okay, so here we all know that when they sail and then the ships, at first the weather is calm, and then all the halfway suddenly the storms and the big waves hit them. Okay, and of course they feel very frightened. Okay, like they will think that they're going to sink in this middle of the sea. Okay, and then here, come with me for a moment. Just imagine this sinful place with no dietary restrictions and all their pagans practice. I would not blame the disciple one bit if they had turned the boat around and gone back home. Okay, so these disciples know that, are they going to go to this place, and then what happened to their life? And then are they going to turn back home and not following Jesus to that place? Okay, here is the challenges for them. As they arrive at the shore of Decapolis, then they were met not by unusual crowds, a lot of people there. Okay, but instead by desolation and two demon-possessed men. Okay, however, when they arrived, they saw these two men have been possessed by the demons. Okay, and then the multitudes, okay, also gather around Jesus. And then when Jesus saw these two men, and then he tried to help these two men, because when he saw these two men, of course, Jesus think that this person need to be saved. Okay, it is different from the people around them. Okay, when they saw these two men, they will run for their life and not going to help this kind of men, because they think that these men are going to threaten them. Okay, and yet this man had been possessed for a very long time. Who is going to help if no one can help them? Okay, so not surprised that Jesus willing to help these men. Okay, as they arrive, the pictures here, Okay, in Mark 5 verse 2 to 5. Okay, Mark 5 verse 2 to 5. Okay, what happened here? And when he came out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. And always night and day he was in the mountain and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. This man. Okay, it is very pity to see actually. Okay, it is like they are losing their mind. Okay, this is quite a sin, but in the presence of Jesus, nothing stays in the same. Jesus is there, so the demon also recognize Jesus. Not only human, demon recognize the presence of Jesus. Okay, and then here when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and worshipped him, and he cried out with a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of Most High God? I implore you by God that you do not torment me." For he said to him, "Come out of the man, unclean spirit." Then he asked him, "What is your name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Also he begged him earnestly that he would not send them out of the country. Now a large herd of swine was feeding there near the mountains. So all the demons begged him, saying, "Send us to the swine, that we may enter them." And that once Jesus gave them permission, then the unclean spirits went out and entered the swine. There were about 2,000, and the herd ran violently down the steep place into the sea and drawn in the sea. Okay, because when that spirit came out from the man and they have no place to go, so when they saw this swine of the swines near the mountain, so he chose to go to that animals, and then they sink themselves, okay, into the sea, step down into the sea. Okay, so luckily this man's life have been saved, okay, by Jesus. So those who feed the swine fled, and they told it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what that had happened. So everyone was surprised and figured, who can do this kind of things? Okay, so this man told all peoples in the city and the countries to see what happened. Okay, how did Jesus can do that? Okay, no, so they were wondering why other people couldn't save this man, but this Jesus came and saved these two men. Okay, and then first of all, fear and rejection. The miracle was amazing, that this man was free from the spirit. Okay, this spirit were gone, and the man restored to his right mind. Interesting to note, however, the very difference from the healing in Galilee. Upon healing the demon possessed this time, instead of celebration, there was fear of rejection. Okay, and then here, Mark 4 verse 15 to 17. Okay, let's see in the Bible what happened. Mark 4 verse 15. Okay, verse 15, "And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan come immediately and taken away the word that was sown in their hearts." Verse 16, And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the words, immediately receive it with gladness. Okay. Here we know that when they came to Jesus and saw of Jesus can heal this man that had been in demon possessed for a long time ago, and then this legion sitting and clothes and around and in his right mind, and then they were afraid. Why they were afraid? Because who saw it? Who saw what happened when Jesus healed this man? Okay, and then what happened to the swine? And then they began to plead with him and depart from their region. So they amazed, okay, and then trust, okay, after what happened. And then these Decapolis peoples, they are not very happy with this kind of situation, okay, and then they did not celebrate this supernatural healing because they are blinded with the entrenched worldviews and fear that they could not appreciate this miraculous work of Jesus. Okay, and then instead of joy, they feel so fear that this man, okay, that have power, that is greater, and then what they are thinking about, what they are thinking about this man will bring threaten them. Okay, this is what they're thinking. They are very fear, but whether they didn't think about what happened. Okay, what happened to their family? Like they have their sick mother, and then tormented child, and then troubled friend. Okay, they don't think about that. They need Jesus to heal them. Okay, they only think that this man that can heal, okay, that is a healer with the power could help them. Instead of begging Jesus to leave, he's got power, but he's from the other side. For the people living in Decapolis, somebody who is from the other side could hurt them. They will think negative about Jesus. Okay, they don't accept Jesus. Okay, they don't accept the miracles. Okay, so this kind of people thinking that other side of people have the agenda. Okay, somebody who is from the other side is going to have an attitude to superiority or be judgmental or distant. They were afraid of somebody from the other side. They are afraid. Okay, so these reactions become the encounter when the presenting of the gospel to people who are unfamiliar with the hostile to the message of Christ. Okay, the fear of unknown, the fear of transformative power, and the challenges existing norms and power. Okay, so they are often lead to rejection. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon possessed begged to go with him. After the man had been healed, so this man begged Jesus to follow with him. Okay, and then this scene in your mind, the man prostrates himself before Jesus and pleads, "I've been living here in all this darkness all my life, and it's destroyed me. Let me live here. I just want to be with you. I'm leaving everything, everyone I know, everything I have, which isn't much. But I just want to follow you." He doesn't merely make this request. He begs, he cries, he desperate, and yet Jesus loving say no. Okay? Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." Okay, imagine this man's feeling as the boat rolls away and he is not on the board. Okay, imagine that the person that saved you, and then you beg that person to be with them. Okay, to be with that person, but the person say no. Okay, you don't have to follow me. Okay, you just go and give your testimony. Okay, what happened to your life? Okay, it's happened in our life here. If we get, if we have, if God save us, okay, from danger, of course we have to share to everyone, okay, so that people knows the miracles of Jesus, miracles of God that had done in our life. The power of testimony. Yet, in this narrative, there is beacons of hopes. The man who was healed did not journey back with Jesus, but was instead commissioned to stay and testify among his own people. This man, once shaken by demon, now freed by Christ, became the first missionaries to the regions of Decapolis, the ungodly regions on the other side of the lake. He follows Jesus' instructions and began to witness. Now we have several months passed, and one day Jesus decides to go on to the other side. This time, however, the atmosphere was shifted dramatically. When was once hostile territory now celebrated his presence. Yes, okay. We as human, we don't know what happened when we go to any other places. We might think, oh, what happened to my life? Are my life going to be good or my life going to be bad? Okay, but Jesus know. Okay, Jesus know what will happen to our life. Okay, what if Jesus didn't go to that place and didn't save that man, and forever that man will be possessed by demon? Who is going to help the souls, their soul? Okay, so the man feels so happy, so he glorified to God, and he became the he shares the testimonies, and then he become the missionaries to spread the God. So it makes changes in their life. Okay. And then here in Matthew 15 verse 29 to 31, we will see what happened in this verse. Okay. Matthew 15, 29. Okay. Here in this verse, by the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus departed from thence, and came nigh into the Sea of Galilee, and went up into the mountain, and sat down there. Verse 30, and great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at Jesus' feet, and he healed them. Okay, after they saw what happened, so everyone came to Jesus, need to be healed. Okay, for those who are blind, okay, that have sickness. Okay, and then here it says that the mute can speak, the man made the whole, the lame walking, and the blind sing. It is miracles. Okay, so happy. Okay, the person that been healed, of course they feel happy because they've been healed. So they praised the God of Israel. The first time Jesus went to the other side, nobody was home except one demon-tormented man, and everybody begged him to leave. The second time he comes, he has one of the most dramatic response to his arrival in all the gospel. What happened? Well, this one man told his story. Okay, in Mark 5 verse 20. Okay, let's see Mark 5 verse 20. In this verse, it says, "And he departed and began to publish in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done for him, and all men did marvel." Okay, it is a good news for him. Okay, and this one man traveled from one town to one another, from one neighborhood to another, and share the good news that Jesus is the only one that can heal him. Okay, and then this testimony is a great testimony for us today, because we all know that the only person that can heal us is God. Heal our mind when we feel stressed with our life, with our work, okay, with the person, and then it will also heal our heart. Okay, so when we feel angry, when we feel sad, depressed, then Jesus can heal us. And then here, his testimony transformed the entire cities. And then there was the way that this man could reach people on the other side, that initially not even Jesus' disciples, not Jesus himself. So the good news spread very fast. Okay, here this call of modern disciples. Now, what then in the other side for us today? Okay, today what we are learning today, the demonic land, the demonic spirits, okay, has been vanished by the power of God. Okay, God is greater. Even these demonic spirits afraid of God. Okay, so here in different country, different community, okay, or even opposing ideology territories, okay, and then we all been called up that the disciples to be disciples and be brave out, step out of our comfort zone and engage with those who are radically different, carrying the lights of Christ, okay, into dark corners of misunderstanding and prejudice. Okay, and then we spread, okay, how we need to have character of Jesus in ourselves. As we have the character of Jesus, and it is easy to change people's life. Okay, we all know that the characters of Jesus, forgiveness, okay, and then can mingle with everyone around us. We don't what we call it, differences them according to their status, okay, or according to their positions in their lives, okay. But it is a good thing to share this good news, because they are hungry and urged to waiting for us to share good news with them. Okay, and then we hope that this longing of love, they are waiting for you, they are waiting for me to reach out to them. Okay, so we has these missions to spread the good news to everyone. Okay. So here as a conclusions, even though we are from different places, okay, and then we need to brave enough to go to the place that has not been we call that that has not been know the good news. Okay, we should be brave, even though that they might reject us, they might accept us, and then it is important. Okay, Here the global missions feel vast, and it requires us to transcend not only geographical but cultural, linguistic, and the ideological borders. So like these disciples, the hillmen of Decapolis, we are equipped with the most powerful tools, our testimony, okay, our transformation love of Christ. Okay, so now it is our missions today, okay, called by God's calling us. Everyone should know that Jesus is good, okay, and they're waiting to be with us. Okay, even though we all sinners, but God still wants us to be with Him. Okay, think that's all for now. And then I will pass this, okay, to our MC, Pastor Samuel.